Hello and welcome to episode 9 of the Kicking Back podcast. Today I am joined by the lovely Anna McLuckie. How are you, Anna?
I'm good, yeah. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm great. I'm very happy to have you here, of course. And we have the usual suspect at the
Hello.
back.
How's it going, Brad?
I'm okay, man. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Very well.
So, Anna, you have just released your new album. Today, every day.
Today, every day.
Yeah. Do you want to... Well, first of all, for people watching at home, give the people a little bit of something about yourself. You know, tell them like who you are, what you do, and all that. And if you want to look straight in their sweet eyes, it's camera 2 with that bit of stupid cardboard over there.
Okay, I'm Anna McLuckie. I'm a singer and harpist in Manchester, and I've just released my debut album today, every day.
Wow. That was very like air hostess kind of.
Yeah.
I like that.
I've
That's
written
good.
a lot of job apps recently, so internalized.
Awesome. So, how many tracks are on the album?
8.
8, I think. Oh, we've got a copy of the artwork and stuff here.
8.
I'm sure we can get James and George to pull it up as well, so people can have a look. Who did the artwork out of interest?
I'll just show you. It was Luca Shaw, who is a Stockport-based artist. And yeah, she just has a beautiful vision and a beautiful way of creating lovely things.
It's delightful. It's really, really nice stuff. So, tell us a bit about the story of the album. Like, how long does it take you to put together? You know, how does this come together, Anna?
So this is a little collection of songs that we've been sort of writing and arranging for the last 5 years. We being me and Matt and Dan and Charlie and Ellie and George.
Nice.
So strings, bass, guitar and drums.
Awesome. And you recorded it at Blueprint Studios, is that right?
Yeah, we recorded it at Blueprint Studios after a crowdfunder, which was... people were very nice, and that paid for the recording and the artwork and the whole making of it. But the idea behind it was sort of that you invest in like purchasing one ahead of time. So I had a very long day of sending little packages to everyone who'd ordered one. But yeah, it was really lovely because it kind of feels like everyone who donated and sent a message and became a part of the whole project made the album with us.
Yeah.
And because it had so many people involved, like members-wise and artists and producers and people from Blueprint, it feels sort of like a little hub of stuff that I've done over the last 5 years rather than just like some tracks that we wrote.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's real nice. So in terms of the collaborative element of it, in terms of the songwriting, how influential is each member of the band in terms of, you know, the start of the song to the end product? How much is your sort of input and then everyone else's bits?
I think hugely, because a lot of these songs are quite old, as in like the baby version of these songs is quite old, maybe sort of 4-5 years at the most for some of them. So the version that's appeared on the album is sort of 5 years of gigging that and arranging that for strings and backing vocals and everything that's on it, and it just changes a tiny little bit each time we do it, each time we gig it, but it's like almost, it's for me it's miles away from where it was at the start, and it's become a whole different thing, which then sort of like changes the whole meaning of the song as well, which is quite nice.
And in terms of your writing process, do you write the core of the song? You know, what comes first? Is it like the chords and I know you're like very lyrics heavy. Is there a particular process that you go through?
They normally come right together. So I mean, a lot of the time I'll sit down because it will be like, oh, I've something I want to express, or I'll just feel like I need to create something or like pull something out. So they come from like a sort of emotional stimulus, but that could be like an emotional stimulus that appears in a melody or a chord progression or a lyric. It doesn't come from like one specific point every single time.
Okay.
And is that something that you'd like plan ahead of time, or like would you have the feeling and wherever you are just like start writing down lyrics, or do you kind of get yourself into songwriting mode, like go sit by the piano and let it come out? How does that work?
It really varies. I used to be really good at carrying a notebook around with me everywhere. And I remember going through, so a lot of these songs came from a stage where I got really like poem happy and just wrote loads of poems, or just like continuous writing. So just like sheets and sheets of just blah. But then some of it comes from us being like, oh, we're going to sit down and record something, or I'm going to sit down and write a song, and like decidedly write a song.
Yeah.
So it does vary, I think.
Kind of can't see it coming, just see what happens.
Yeah. How do you guys do it? Have you got like a set starting point?
I've really recently just started doing the thing of you like not even poetry, just like bleh, just like just writing endlessly, like and that it's a really weird thing I found where it's such a sudden urge. It's like oh man, I need to go take a shower. But recently it's become, oh man, I need to write some words down.
Nice.
Which is, but again, it's like, I get like this kind of really short warning in my head, like it's going to happen. And then it's like, oh God. And I only do it on my phone. I only do it on like, on memos and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's no coherence. There's no like,
yeah.
Hopefully some of it rhymes, I guess, is like the bottom line. But apart from that, it's just like,
and does it hit you in like weird places? Like you'll be
totally
like halfway through a conversation, just like, sorry, 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Having a moment.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I think for me personally as well, I don't think I can try. So I don't think I can try and come up with a subject, and that sounded really weird there. I don't think I can try. You know what I mean? I can't force it.
Right. Yeah.
So I think if I've ever tried to sit down and write a song, it's just not happened that way. Or I have done it, but it's just been terrible. So it has to be
More
really out of the
organic.
blue. So I had to catch myself off guard or something for it to actually come out the way I wanted to. But
Nice.
yeah, I don't. It's so interesting hearing everyone's take on it, because I think I've heard a few people say similar things to that.
Yeah.
And then I've heard a few people kind of go like down your route as well, where it can kind of come from a chord progression or a melody or anything. So yeah, what about you, Brad?
I've not written a song for a while, but definitely when I used to write stuff, it was it always started with chords and then phonetics, and then I would go back and say and think like, what does that sound like? What do these sounds sound like? What words do they sound like? And then it kind of strung together from that. And then a lot of the time, way later down the line, it'd be like, oh, this is about that. Like almost like it was subconsciously happening. But yeah, it's interesting because like whenever I've tried writing lyrics first, they suck balls. Like it's just really horrible.
Technical term.
Because I'm not particularly. Obviously, I love nice lyrics, but we were talking about this the other day, Matt. Like Matt's like super. You hone in on that, don't you? In terms of like lyricism.
When I'm listening, definitely, yeah.
Whereas I focus on different things. I think everyone has a focus point.
And do you like document them at that stage? So do you have like a load of voice memos, or do you just like scatting along to the bass? Or
Yeah. Normally it's normally of the moment, and then it's take it down in the moment, and then if I've got the time, I try and do it there and then, because a lot of the time, I don't know if you get this, if you try and tackle that idea a few hours later, the magic's gone, or the sort of the core element of the idea has sort of evaded you. So I try and do it as and when. I am thinking about starting to do some more songwriting again, now that I've had enough time
you should do it
away from it. Because everyone's a bloody singer-songwriter these days.
It is the only thing we can do at the moment.
Yeah. I'm definitely feeling an urge, but I've also not felt emotionally deep enough I've not felt anything strong enough
Yeah.
for it to pull through. So I don't want to just like write about nothing, you know?
Yeah, I totally know what you mean. I think it comes in like there's like two ways where either it's like too emotional, or like almost like to an extent that anything would sound vapid.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I don't know, or yeah, if you're just like pretty content, which is nice. I'm glad you're happy.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think we were talking. Was it who? We were talking about angsty teenage songwriting.
Yeah.
Who was it with?
Ashgard?
I was with Ash. Yeah. Yeah, because when I was a teenager, I was banging out songs like it's nobody's business, and then
Yeah, because you don't care.
yeah, and obviously I was more angry at the world, or you know, life's so unfair. But I kind of don't. I'm not really like that as much anymore. So
Yeah.
don't know. In terms of, is there any particular like writers or anything that you draw influence from?
Yeah. So it's funny you say that, because I've had a similar thing recently where I've been like, I don't want to write songs from my own viewpoint. I've always written very like openly and honestly, but I quite like to. I just don't really feel like doing that anymore.
Yeah, fair.
Because I think mainly because I've been listening to a lot of things like Fiona Apple's new album, which I think does come from her own viewpoint, but it's the way she writes lyrics, and same with like Joanna Newsom. They're all very metaphorical, but in a way that you can tell that they've not sat down and like spent hours like Googling things and reading. Like they probably like constantly research and read things and absorb them, and then it comes out in that way. But it's like, those sort of things. I think those writers that are like eloquent, but in a like unpretentious way. I've been trying to paint more word pictures.
Ooh, lovely.
This is something I thought about recently, just with how easy it is to like rely on technology when you writing lyrics. And I always feel like, because I write everything down on my phone, and I'm always like trying to look up synonyms and stuff like that. But I don't know, it kind of feels like cheating to me. Like it feels like a cop out or something. Even worse than that, like you have predictive text, so it's like so hard. Like you write word and it like tells you the next word. It's like, no, that's not what word. But now, oh shit. But yeah, and then imagine people used to do it without any of that reliance. But I guess in that case, they'd probably just have a rhyming dictionary they'd carry around. Yeah. People like Tom Waits or whatever, just like scraps of paper. But yeah, would you guys say like cheating, or is it just like using whatever you can?
I worked on a job recently where they had like writing stations, and they put a massive like Oxford Dictionary at the end of every one. Yeah, right, so it's clearly like, I don't know, it must be a thing.
Yeah, definitely.
What job was this?
That was the Reform Radio sound camp thing.
Cool.
But it was quite funny. They'd like move off at Ableton and then be like, halfway through doing something really techy. Start flicking through this Oxford Dictionary. But if it works, it works.
Yeah. I think that's an interesting point though, because it's like, if you didn't have that, you'd only use the dialect that you have in your personal collection.
Exactly.
So is that more you?
Yeah, this is it. But even again, like more so than that, you can look up other people's lyrics if you want to feel inspired. So you can be like, what the hell was that line that Justin Vernon used? And you're like, but it's a fine line. Obviously, you need to listen to other people and stuff, but it's so easy now to jump into like hundreds and hundreds of different songs and sets of lyrics and break it all down. And just thinking like people couldn't do that before. Like even you don't have to go back very far for it to be a reality that it's just whatever was in your head would be the thing that would come out. So I don't know whether it like warps the process a little bit. And I kind of feel on the fence about this. So it's not like that's my opinion. It's just an interesting thought, isn't it?
Interesting.
Sure. I guess they did do it in some way though, in that like all like the Beatles and the Beach Boys and all the people who maybe didn't have Spotify. Yeah. All those people.
All those both of them.
They also ended up sounding quite similar. I guess because they did the same thing, and that they took inspiration from each other and constantly moved in that way.
Yeah, definitely. And if it's there, it kind of seems weird to like try and turn your back on it
Yeah.
in the same way.
I guess it's just another tool, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I guess how deep you use that tool is.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a crutch. It's
Yeah.
just a tool still. Yeah.
But then, you could use it in a crazy way and be like random word generator and then try and write something off that.
Yeah,
So I guess
Yeah.
it's more the way you use it than
Mm-hmm.
the actual thing itself.
Yeah, definitely.
Just use your middle button for predictive text. Write a song.
Have you ever
Exactly.
have you ever
One of those.
done that where you just make sentences out of
Oh,
all
that
the
would one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my whole
Hilarious.
year.
You're bored. You got 5 minutes just like.
Exactly.
So the lyrics of the songs in this album, would you say they're more? Because I say you're saying you're moving away from a more personal view of writing. Would you say these songs are that, from a personal view, or is that more the newer stuff? Is you're trying to be more metaphorical, or?
These are super open and honest, which is what I like about them, I think. So it's not like I'm moving away from it because I dislike that.
Yeah.
But it's just something I've been trying to do as like another tool. It's more that I find myself not being able to write them like that in general.
Okay. Right.
I guess because exactly as you said, like there's nothing I really want to sing about
Yeah.
to do with me, but like observational writing seems quite appealing.
Cool. Anna, I think we have some questions from the audience. Apparently, rather exciting. James, do you want to hit me up with some of them sweet questions?
Yeah, sure. Once I turn my mic on. We have Andreas asking, are you looking forward to tour in Germany again when it's possible?
Oh, if they will have me, then yes. I would love to.
And
Yeah.
Paulina is saying, I really love you and your song.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
And if you have any more questions, guys, just please put them in the chat and I'll
ask away.
read them out for you.
Yeah, awesome.
Nice.
Ah,
That's really cute.
it's very nice, isn't it?
I feel like that's a really nice way of doing social media, because I don't know how you guys feel about social media, but like often when you read something, it doesn't seem as like genuine, but like having James Paul read
yeah. I know what you mean.
like I'd love you to just like read all my emails. And
Maybe
I
that's
could,
a service we could start providing.
that would be quite like then to like dictate them back. I don't know, it just feels a lot more personal, doesn't it? It's lovely.
Yeah,
We
that's
could work
lovely.
with that, definitely. And in that beautiful accent as well.
Yeah.
Just
That Scottish lilt. Beautiful. I'm gonna go back to the album again.
That is more.
I had
than
another listen to it
Yeah.
today, Anna. It was so good.
It's beautiful.
It's really, really
So
nice.
nice. Thank you.
Yeah, because me and Anna did a video shoot ages ago in Liverpool, some church, wasn't it? Some live sessions, and some of the tracks are on the album are on there. But yeah, it was like kind of made me feel a little bit like a little bit emotional in a way. I was kind of like, oh, I remember that. It was, and it always makes me think of like, because I've known Anna. Sorry, for people at home that are listening, I've known Anna for 6-7 years now.
Long time.
A long time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes me think of a lot of. It always evokes that sort of earlier point in my life and stuff. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's great.
For me too, like that was such a lovely day. Such a beautiful church, and lovely video. Thank you. Thanks for all that.
That was so long ago as well. Was it like 2 years ago maybe?
It
I feel like it was a
was.
while ago.
It was just after we came back from Glastonbury. I remember that because somebody, just to ruin how lovely it was, commented on the video saying something like, "Oh look, Anna's discovered drugs and depression or something."
all right. Was this like a friend of yours?
No,
Really?
because we'd just come back from the festival,
Yeah.
we're knackered and
Yeah.
also really tanned
Yeah,
because it was so hot.
it was, wasn't
So
it?
we were probably just like, like
Floated.
yeah. So that must have been June 2 years ago, June 2019.
Time
I know.
flies.
Crazy.
Yeah. That's what I was going to ask you. So, in terms of your influences of your sound and how it's put together, because it is. Well, would you call it folk? Is it in that bracket? Because I feel like a lot of obviously the instrumentation stuff kind of evokes that, but then it's a bit more. I don't know. How would you describe it?
The EPK says contemporary folklore.
Nice.
But that was more, so that was something I think I sent Luca, because the idea behind the artwork was that it was also like childhood stories, not childhood, but like they're stories of a time because they're written over such a long period of time and they had so many people involved in it. I wanted it to be like a storybook. So that's why it's like the pages of a book. So folklore and then like a folkloric tale, I guess.
Folkloric. I like it. I like it. So, in terms of people that are there any artists that you've drawn sort of influence from for your sound, or in terms of how you put it all together?
Oh, me personally, probably still like Fiona Apple and Joanna Newsom. Maybe more some of this stuff was a lot of Laura Marling and just all those lovely, lovely singers and females. There's one in particular that I'm thinking of that, because I think George and Ellie's string arrangements play like a huge role in it.
They sound so good as well.
They
sound so good.
They're great. They're bloody great. And like, I think that particular style of playing comes from a lot of what they both listen to. So yeah, I'm not going to misquote them, but that's another sort of sound world as well.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, the string arrangements are, that was one of the things that popped up into my head. I was listening to that. I was like, these are really, they're it's just very well put together. It just carries, and each song each part feels like it, but I don't know what I'm trying to say here. The parts feel how the lyrics come across, if you get what I mean. It paints the picture in a really nice way. Yeah, it's cool. I like it. I like it. I'm going to ask you another question there, Anna, that I ask everyone.
Okay.
And I didn't prep you on this, so you can have, there's two versions of the question.
Yeah.
One that's the Ashley Garrett version and one that's the normal version. Ashley Garrett version is you're on a desert island and you can bring an album with you. You're on this island for 24 hours. Now the album, it could be any album you want, but whoever's singing it / narrating, it can also be whoever you want. So basically it can be whatever album sung by whatever person.
All right. Wow.
So there's that version of it. Or if you want to go a bit more soft, you can go classic Desert Island Discs, let's say 5. What do you choose, Anna?
I'm going to go for our man Ashley Garrett's version.
Okay.
And I'm going to go for something super, super... Do what? I'm going to go for... It's going to be sung by Nina Simone.
Nice.
But I want her to sing something... yeah. What has good lyrics that I'd love? I just feel like she does. So recently, I've been getting super invested in that album Here Comes the Sun, where she just does covers of everyone's song and shows them up so much by making it like 1,000 times more beautiful. What is a song that I love? Do you know? I have no idea. Give me a song.
Any song.
Give me some albums. I really have no idea.
Well, all right. Why don't we... the Desert Island Discs, what would be in that collection, and would you choose one of those albums for Nina to sing?
Thanks.
That might be a way to figure it out.
There's an album by Corinne Polwart called Fault Lines.
Corinne
Polwart. She's like a folk musician.
Okay.
I'd love to hear her do jazzy versions of those songs. Yeah, that would be cool.
Cool. Nice. How do you spell Corinne? How do you spell
Corinne
that?
with a K.
Right.
And then Polwart, Polwart.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll check that out.
Yeah.
I say this every week, but it's great for people to list off albums they like, because then we get to listen to them through the week. You know, it's a little encyclopedia.
It's so nice. It's like getting recommendations from people is so different. Just going out on your own as well. When you have that trust thing, and you maybe even have some like context about an album, and you can sit down with it. Otherwise, there's always that fear, like it sounds silly, but you don't like waste your time. So if you're gonna get through like an hour of an album, we've all been there, and you got to the end like, like,
what a waste of my time.
It's like, okay.
Has that ever been your immediate reaction after listening to an album? That's so
yeah,
sad.
Definitely. terrible.
What was the last?
No, too fair. There's always something you can get out of it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, name and shame. Come on, what was the worst?
I'm not naming and shaming that.
This one.
Matt just goes to town for half an hour, just all the people that he hates. Oh, that's hilarious, man.
Sorry, you go.
No, I was just gonna say it's a lovely cup of tea. But
I was gonna, just a slight diversion, but when we were talking about songwriting earlier, how do you distinguish between diving station tunes that you write and your own thing? Is it just like the way it feels, or do you ever have songs that kind of sit on the fence where it's like you don't know what to do with that song?
Diving Station is all written by all four of us as like an initial idea. So they're all written in the room. We've got like our 2-3 hour practice slot, and everything gets written in that time, and no one pre-preps anything.
Really? Okay.
So it all starts from like, like maybe they will be like, oh, I was playing through these chords this week, but no one ever says like, oh, I've had this idea for a song. We'll just do it in that time. So So then everything I write myself is this stuff.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Awesome.
So
There's a lot of trust in that then with that band.
Yeah.
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 Cool.
No, it's great because I think it's like the only time that I've been that collaborative with anything, and I know that they say the same thing, and that it doesn't normally. There's normally like a little bit of politeness where you don't want to like step on each other's toes, but we have absolutely none of that. So
no, that's shit.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's
yeah.
great. Yeah, of course, for the people at home, Anna, that haven't, that don't know who you are. So the projects that you're involved with, do you want to just tell people about them?
So this is the one we were talking about, is a sort of indie rock band.
What do you call it? Dream
pop.
Dream
I love
pop.
that
Dream
title.
pop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dream pop band called Diving Station, which is me and Sean Rogan, who was on last week.
Yeah.
Who's also just released a solo EP. It's beautiful. You should listen to it. George Burge, who plays violin on this but plays bass in Diving Station, and Barnabas Kimberley. Barnabas Kimberley.
I love Barney. Well, I love all those people, but I love Barney. Barney's great.
And this is our advertisement for CBBC.
Yeah. So for people listening at home, we're just looking at a lovely, very colourful picture of Diving Station. Who did those pictures?
That was Ollie Pringle, who's a friend of Sean's from school.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
very
Nice.
talented man.
Oh, that's good. So yeah, you got Diving Station. You've got your stuff. Are there any other projects that you do?
I've been doing a lot of like writing bits on other people's stuff at the moment. Yeah, me and Owen, who's my housemate, have been writing some folk stuff with Seamus. That's like his stuff.
Nice.
Wrote a Spanish song with Will Hearn.
Nice.
We got
As you do.
Will Hearn's on the podcast next week.
Hey,
Funnily
what a
enough.
nice little
segue. Lovely.
Yeah. Apart from that, just Hun Rosa, Sam Vickery. I do stuff with him as well.
What sort of stuff is that?
That is more electronic stuff. So it's like
Okay.
he's a bassist, plays bass in cinematic orchestra.
Right.
But does a lot of like Ableton at the moment. And I just do like top line stuff. Which is cool.
Sweet top lines.
The money making stuff, you know.
Do you ever do any of the harp stuff in other projects, or is that mainly just for your thing?
Yeah. So I'm doing a harp with that the folk
For
stuff.
the folk thing, yeah.
What else did I do? Yeah, occasionally people will just be like, "Can you come in and play some harp on my album? I'd like some harp."
Nice.
Which is cool because a lot of the time they just let me do whatever I want, which is good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I was going to ask you about your... was going to say musical journey. Is that too cheesy? No.
The origin story.
Yeah, I kind of want to
Yeah.
know what's your sort of musical background. Like, did you have a musical family? And how did you get into doing all the harp stuff and all that?
Yeah. So, I mean, I went to school with our James Paul. And
You
we went to...
Same school?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you did.
I thought you knew each other, didn't you? Went to the same school. Anyway,
Yeah.
continue. Sorry.
Sorry. I didn't mean to accuse you of not...
Yeah,
Yeah, you did.
Did know that.
Liar.
Yeah, with my brother Jack. And we went to a school that had a music school attached to it. It was just like a normal Edinburgh State school, but it had this amazing music facility attached to it. And I joined when I was sort of 8 or 9. I played piano and violin. That's what I auditioned on. And they said, your violin is shit. Do you want to play something else? And I had a friend who played the harp. And I thought it was very pretty. So I copied her. And that's how I started playing the harp.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then when did you start writing music?
Probably, I remember writing a song in my last year of primary school with like my 2 best friends. It was something like super trashy. It did have a time change in it. I remember that, but I think that was like completely accidental.
Oh, right. It wasn't like you were trying to be cool. It's like, yes, putting a sweet time change here.
No. I think I've just always done it a little bit. It's just always like plodding around singing stuff. Am I?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's so funny. Just I totally forgot what I was going to say now. So, no, sorry. Do you remember the first time you wrote down something and like kind of committed to it or like performed it in front of people?
I remember singing a song on my piano. I used to write on piano more than on harp. I remember singing a song with piano for my singing teacher when I was probably like 13 or 14. And her just being super, super nice about it. And she might have just been really nice, being really nice. But yeah, I remember being like, it's always a teacher, isn't it? It's always a teacher who like puts that faith in you.
Yeah, definitely. The
But
first tune I used to, instead of like buying presents for Father's Day or Mother's Day or like my parents' birthday stuff, I used to just like write them songs because I'd always forget like to like get cards. So when I got Audacity, I just like just like record it a quick little like multi-tracked guitar number, just like a 30-second something, and be like, there you go.
Oh, that's such a nice...
it's quite a funny way of doing it, isn't it? It's a lot cheaper as well.
It's free.
Yeah, exactly.
A teenager with Audacity though, that's a cool kid.
Yeah, you could say that.
That's pretty cool.
I'd love to listen back to some of those.
Yeah.
I was going to say, they
I'm sure they must
anywhere?
exist somewhere, like buried deep away in a hard drive or something. So probably listen back and be like, oh my god.
Did they like them, or were they like,
Yeah, I think
Matt,
that.
like,
Yeah.
get me a real present?
No. There's probably a little bit of that in there, but yeah. Yeah, they seem to like them. So.
What kind of was it like? Because obviously you were a bit of a like, not like you were a rock dude, weren't you?
There was
that
quite.
kind of vein?
It was like melodic, melodic guitar driven. So like quite like heavy distorted guitar, but like really melodic, which is why I'm kind of thinking like listening back and be like, what?
Did you sing?
No. It was all
Just
purely just guitar, just a wall of guitars.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Wow. You used to have some
All the
substantial
way down.
hair.
Yeah.
growth.
Absolutely. Just Les Paul. I mean, most guys like from our generation could probably relate to that at some point, going through like the rebellion stage.
Long hair Les Paul.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'll say. Yeah, listening to too much Ozzy Osbourne and stuff like that. But
Oh.
what about you, Brad? Do you remember the first time you like performed one of your own tunes? Would it have been like busking or something like that?
Oh yeah.
First time I performed a tune.
Because you were in a band with Barney, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. That was definitely the first time I remember writing something.
Mm.
Was in that band. Because I used to do a lot of the writing for that. Oh, it was so bad. God, it was bad. And that was me just singing and playing bass, and sort of writing really awful lyrics and stuff. So that probably was the first time I performed it. But then the first time I remember, I think the first time I wrote my own stuff for me was when I split up with my first girlfriend, and I was heartbroken.
Oh man.
Yeah, and I just got an acoustic guitar. You played at that Fender, that black,
Yeah.
horrible, the world's hardest guitar to play.
Yeah.
If you can play that
You
guitar,
can play anything.
you can play anything.
What's wrong with it? It's super slidey.
Just like the sort of the gap between the strings and the frets, like that.
Nice.
So that was the first time I remember like writing stuff. But then, I used to just write stuff. I used to just make stuff up when I was busking on the street, just because I'd run out of songs to play. So I was just like, I'm just going to sing whatever. And that's where I kind of developed that. I think I've got a fairly good ability of just blagging it or just like coming up with stuff on the spot and just like improvising lyrics and stuff. Like when me and Matt and everyone in the house have like stupid jams, I'm able to just sort of
Just conjure
stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think you've got like that inner monologue, kind of like what you were saying, going through all the time, or do you just tap into it when you need it? Or
I think it's almost not my. It's like if I ignore my inner monologue and
That's
go
when
to
it
the
comes.
place outside of that, like the place where there's nothing, and I just let it. If I'm in the moment, then it comes out, and God knows what it's about.
Yeah.
A lot of the times it ends up being about the sea.
Yeah. Which just makes you think like maybe there's something about like past lives or something.
Yeah.
And the kind of accent turns into this slightly deranged pirate. From time to time.
That's when it gets weird. Like that's like the weird shit.
I can just see you with your like eyebrow cocked.
But I love. I always think my lyrics and that stuff's always more interesting when it's off the cuff rather than when I try and put it down and stuff.
Put loads of thought into it.
Yeah. What was the question? That was just.
It was like your first time, like writing or like first time performing your own music.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So then, so I used to do all the busking stuff, and then we used to put on like gigs like every week, in different pubs all over. I grew up in the Isle of Man, for the people that don't know. So I used to all my mates would come. So I'd write really stupid songs or like funny songs. I remember I wrote the Jimmy Savile song once.
Oh no! How did that one go?
I'm not singing the lyrics. It was denouncing Jimmy Savile.
Okay.
It wasn't
Good.
like
Stick it up for it.
yeah. The lyrics were very brutal. But I used to just write songs for my mates pretty much, and then there's obviously my stuff. There is stuff on YouTube
Oh.
that I recorded.
Can we pull this up, James?
No, no.
Under an alias or under?
No, just under. I think literally under Brad Ingham music. I might have hidden them, but they are up there. To be honest, I stopped writing my own stuff after the first year of college. That was kind of where it stopped. So yeah, I've not written anything for a while, and anything I have written, I've just kind of.
Do you both Do you both write instrumental stuff? Would you ever like sit down and write a piece without like song structure?
I've tried loads, but for me, I really, really struggle. And the same thing, like listening to, I listen to classical music quite a lot, and have done for ages now. But listen to like anything under the umbrella of pop, I never ever do that. Like as instrumental music, I've always got to have like some kind of story or just lyrics or just some. I really struggle like. When I'm trying to write, so I really struggle holding my own attention for more than like 30 seconds or something. Even if it sounds really nice, I always end up being this, especially like on like folky drop tune guitar, always ends up being way too like drony kind of sound. You see what I mean? So I find it hard to like pull out a melody and have a shape that's going to carry something for like 3 or 4 minutes without it getting boring. Just obviously people do it amazing, but for me, I can't really do it. I haven't worked that one out yet, but yeah.
I guess, like, do you ever try and take a piece that you've written with vocals and then make it an instrumental piece? That could be an interesting way of doing it.
Yeah, definitely.
Like playing bits of the melody.
Yeah, I'll let you know how it goes.
I don't know. I've tried that before and it was. I mean, it wasn't great, but yeah.
Yeah. Would you write from? Would you set yourself challenges like that with your writing? Would you say like, taking this instrumental part and just totally trying to rearrange it for voice or vice versa? Do you set yourself like little goals and things like that?
Not enough.
Yeah.
That was kind of why I was asking you guys.
Right.
That like that's something that I'd like to be able to do. Is like write a full harp piece or like a full orchestral piece. Not like you know, but like arrange for like more instruments and be able to do that. I'd be a bit more versatile with that. So yeah, if you have any tips on your explorations.
Martin Simpson's amazing for that, and Stuart McCallum's amazing for that as well. Like if you listen to his tunes, he put up some on over lockdown just on his Facebook and stuff, and he actually talks about like his process for it, and a lot of times it'll be like driven by a technique or the tunings in or whatever. So it'll be like here's a melody and it's purely like this kind of pattern thing, and here's how I'm going to develop it. And so when he breaks it down, it was really, really good to watch, because like, oh, okay, that does make more sense. And then I tried it and I was like, oh, it's really hard. So yeah, I think
he's a bit of a wizard.
Yeah. He's just amazing. He's a big inspiration for me in terms of keeping that stuff interesting, because that's the hardest thing. I find it quite natural to come up with stuff, but it always feels like there's nothing like grabbing, and obviously there's like technique things that, especially on guitar. On guitar, trying to pull out a melody and a chord progression at the same time, it's just like absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
Sort of thing it sounds really simple when it's done really well, and then the more you break it down and the more you realize that all the you've got like 5 digits and all the internal dynamics between in every voice in the chord, and when you don't have it down, it just doesn't happen. It doesn't like flow or feel right to listen to. So yeah, I think all those things is like, with regards to writing, is it becomes as complicated as you want it to be. So something that can be really, really simple can end up being like beautifully complicated, just in terms of how you like execute and stuff. I can only really talk about guitar as well in that case.
No, that's nice though.
Yeah. One thing I did notice with your songwriting is it seems kind of not like bitty, but it's interesting in that way, because it kind of you sort of repeat motifs, but then you kind of jump when you sort of go in between sections. It almost feels not separate, but like it kind of goes in the way that you almost don't expect it to. In terms of when you're putting that together, is that like, how's that sort of happen?
I think that stems back to that teenage song that changed time, and that like I think I do still, and that this also feeds into the sort of writing a whole piece of music as is without melody and lyrics. Is that I think a lot of the time the thing that ties those sections together tends to be lyrical content, and if you were to take that away, it'd be like, whoa, that doesn't make any sense.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that's something I like that it has that aspect, but I think it could be worked upon.
I mean, I think it's great the way I agree. Like the melody and the lyrics does glue it together, and it's just an interesting. It never goes where I think it's gonna go.
Yeah,
which is cool. I like that, but not in like a why have you gone there? I don't like. Yeah.
I think it does that out of like having so many ideas and not knowing how to combine them.
Okay.
But I do think that I quite like them to have a little more fluidity, or be like extra janky. And like just make no sense. That's the way to go.
Yeah. Do you find yourself getting quite like self-critical about your general writing? Do you like listen back a lot and kind of re-edit, or do you get better at just like letting it go and being like, cool, that song's done?
I haven't listened to this since it was mastered, so I didn't listen to it when it was released. I just find it quite hard. I don't know. I
it's
do.
weird, isn't it?
So I like listen to it with like a mixing head on and be like in the headphones, like, you know, this level needs to go up. Tim, who produced it, was like really attentive to like all the little details. So it like became like listening to it was like a factual thing. And then I haven't listened to it with like a completely subjective mind, and I don't really want to.
I think by the time, because the process is so long,
Yeah.
by the time you get to the finished product, you don't want to listen to it.
No.
Even though you might think it's good, it's you've probably heard these songs however many times.
Yeah.
And like you said, they're like 4 or 5 years old, so it's like
For sure.
and you'll always I do this, like you'll always pick up on something that's like, oh, I wish I'd done that, I wish I'd changed that.
Exactly.
So you've got to know where to just put it down and be like, that's done.
Yeah.
It was that thing that Joni Mitchell said in an interview that was like, the interviewer asked her, why do you not listen back to your songs, but you hang all your paintings up in your house? And she was like, I just can't, like, no matter how old it is or how new it is, I can't not want to change one thing. Whereas like with painting, she was like, I feel like it's done when it's done. Like as soon as you finish it, it's done.
Right.
Which is funny. Like I wonder why we all have the same opinion that it's never finished. It's always moving.
Yeah, it's because like music is like a painting, you pretty much like perceive them in one go. So obviously when you're looking at it and you're like going through it all, then that takes a little bit of time. So there is that side of it. Music's a really, really weird and different art form because you only take every little moment. So in like a 4-minute song, like each individual moment, every like split second that goes by, there could be something in that you want to change, and that's the whereas on a painting, it might be minimal and there's not this like weird like silence to fill.
Yeah.
If you see or if something really, really simple is happening in a song and you want to mess around with that in a painting, like the simple thing, you're not going to just like add more paint and keep on going or try and add more detail. You don't have to.
That's so true.
It's so much more obvious with paintings or like drawings or anything like that. It's so much more obvious like where the kind of silence or the blank spot should be and where you're going to fill it. Whereas with a song, it's really hard not to like throw everything out. Do you find, especially writing on your own, I always find it's like you jump in and you want to just like fill the silence.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah, and it's maybe easier with a band because you can kind of maybe hold it a little bit better and you can like feel when other people are holding back. Whereas trying to write a slow song where like the phrasing, but there's so many beautiful songs do that where like the phrasing just kind of comes and goes and there might be 30 seconds without any vocals or whatever, like or the verse might the vocals might hold off for like the first half and you have this kind of like call and response thing. And that's beautiful. It's really hard not to jump in, isn't it, and
fill the space.
It takes balls, isn't it? It's that like what's it, space grooves harder than sound thing.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah.
And I guess the other thing as well is that like a painting, you're never going to paint it again. Whereas like as gigging musicians, we're going to play a song again and again and again, and it's going to change every time.
Yeah.
So you're going to be like, I guess it grows every time you play it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I've never thought. Yeah, no one sits around just doing the same painting.
Yeah.
but you'll just sit around jamming the same tune over and over, and that's great. Yeah.
That would be such an interesting like gigging culture, but for artists.
Yeah.
Like you love the work so much that you recreate
exactly,
it.
Yeah.
Like I'd love that. I'd go and see someone.
Depends how long it takes to paint the painting. They're there for like 3 days. So you're just like, oh,
again,
just finish it already.
Yeah. But then watching the evolution of it as well, because it would change. You would change something every time you went back to it as well.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's kind of like the Bob Ross
cool.
thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's nice seeing the progress. Have you watched much Bob Ross?
I haven't. This is going to sound so stupid. I saw that thing about Kim Kardashian's daughter painting a picture the other day. This is where my lockdown social media scrolling has gone. She like her daughter painted a picture that was ridiculously impressive, and they were like calling her Bob Ross. And I was like, God, I haven't watched a Bob Ross in ages. And then I watched a Bob Ross.
Nice.
But I hadn't for a long time. So Thanks, Twitter. What about you?
I went through a period of like
Mm.
watching a lot of his stuff.
Yeah.
He's just so relaxing. There's something about his aura that's just like. We were talking about it on another episode, and we watched. I'd never seen. You know, he's got a little baby squirrel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't know he had a baby squirrel, and then it's so cute. So it's just
I
like
can't.
cute animals, calm
Yeah.
dude, nice paintings. It's like
Beautiful hair.
beautiful hair.
Beautiful hair.
Mm-hmm.
What's not to like?
Absolutely.
You know, it's good stuff. Apparently, we have more questions for you, Anna.
Okay.
James, do we have some sweet questions, please?
Yeah, one of them was actually for you, Brad.
Oh, for
asking
me?
If you can,
me?
can
Go
you
on.
freestyle something now?
Can I freestyle something now?
If we had a guitar, we probably could.
I could make up some lyrics now.
How about a limerick?
Oh, no. No. Okay. This might be terrible. Grey concrete. The wood is flat. I sit on my own in a black room. Walking down the street is different at night. When the light is gone, it feels alright. There you go.
All right.
Don't know what that was about.
That was
I've done better, but there you go. That's something. There you go. Whoever asked that.
That was from Nathan Carroll.
Oh, Nathan Carroll. You bastard,
That was
Nathan.
We should have a guitar on standby.
We should, shouldn't we? Little sing-songs.
Yeah.
Any other questions, James?
Jack March was asking Bob Ross paintings.
Wait,
What, just Bob
is-
Ross
is
paintings,
that a-
question
to
mark?
recommend, like a recommended.
I'm guessing.
I'd say recreate the Northwest one. That's the best one.
Can we pull that up?
And there's like
So I
the,
can have a look at that.
Winter Mountain episode gets me every time as well.
Mm.
It's pretty
Mm.
stunning.
That is pretty wintry and mountainous. This one.
Yeah.
And also, Horror Theorist is asking if you will come to Italy.
Yeah, sure. I'd love to.
Have
I'd
you?
absolutely love to.
Have you? I mean, I know it's hard to plan anything at the moment, but are you planning? What's your like plan after this release? Now, are you looking to do some stuff?
Only gig we've got planned is the live stream
Yeah.
album launch, which we have had to push back just to various members not being in Manchester.
Yeah.
But we're hoping to do that in sort of March or April when things open up a little bit, and yeah, you guys are going to be involved.
Woohoo! I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be the ideas. Delightful. Have you announced it yet? Have you?
No, so it's all hushed.
So if people were to, I don't know, find this stuff online and sort of look for when the announcement would be, where would they have to look online, Anna?
They would have to look on social media
Under what?
under Anna McLuckie. And I've got a new website which will have all the details. But yeah, generally the internet.
Search Anna
course.
McLuckie, you'll find it.
Hopefully.
And obviously with Diving Station, is it all just under Diving Station?
All Diving Station, various dots and underscores. But Diving Station, that should be what comes. That should be, hopefully. Other than the Boards of Canada song, that should be what comes up.
What's Boards of Canada?
That's what it's named after.
Oh, the band.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I don't even know who that band is. So I'm gonna.
They're a Scottish electronic band.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. I'll check them out.
But we tried to pick a weird enough name that we didn't have to like. You know how everyone goes to that thing where they're like, oh, there's 2 bands in Canada with the same name.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Good
That
name.
always sucks.
I always thought it was funny, like the people, what they thought your band name was.
Yeah.
It's like what,
Yeah.
Driving Station.
That was a consistent one. Driving Station, Dying
Thriving Nation.
Starvation. Thriving
Di-
Nation. Yeah.
That's
Weird
good stuff.
situation. It goes
Yeah.
on and on and on.
The list goes on.
We had sorry.
Go
We
on.
had one. We had a song in 5. I remember Alex Sedin being like, "Oh, fiving station," which was really good.
Nice. Very nice. I think we'll go for a wee little break now. So Anna came in earlier on today and performed some stuff off the album, and some other bits.
Some of the bits, yeah.
Is there anything you want to tell the people at home before they hear/watch your performance?
I used a loop pedal, and hadn't done that in a long time.
So,
Yeah.
but it's good. It's good.
But it's going to be fantastic. Don't stop now.
Yeah,
Keep
don't.
watching, yeah.
It's good. So we'll be back in about 15 minutes or so. I hope you enjoy Anna's music, and we'll see you all shortly. Goodbye.
Bye.
I'm Anna McLuckie, and this is To Be Still. To be still. Oh, we will never be still. Our hearts beat that runs, we fight so blood spills. To be content. Oh, we are never content. Want more, gain less, to spend more, to be spent. Keep your eyes wide open or you'll blink. To be clear, oh, we will never be clear. Less is less, much more when we wait and we rest. To be content, oh, we are never content. So take time, take yours hand in hand and meet mine. Keep your eyes wide open or you'll blink. Keep your eyes wide open or you'll blink. Keep your eyes wide open or you'll blink. To be still, we will never be, we will never be, never be. To be still, we will never be, we will never be, never be. To be still, we will never be, we will never be, never be. To be still, we will never be, we will never be, never be. To be still, we will never be, we will never be, never be. To be still. To be still, 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 to be still. Thank you. Okay, this next one is another one from the album. It's called Water the Plants. Alter my state of time. I'm always late. Trust me with nothing. Please, I'll turn up. So wait for me. It's my turn to make means. Good morning, mornings. Remember to count your change. Keep counting magpies. Water the plants. Water the plants. Time to be grown. Water the plants. Give me the chance to breathe. My lungs are grey. Let go of my hands and watch gracefully. Oh, I'll mess up letters addressed with names. Waiting on bookshelves. Plans that were never made to drink apple cider. Water the plants. Water the plants. Time to be grown. Water the plants. Water the plants. Water the plants. Time to be grown. Water the plants. Okay, this is a little a cappella folky cover of Black is the Colour. Black is the colour of my true love's hair. His face is soft and wondrous fair, and I still dream that the time will come when he and I will be as one. When he and I will be as one. Black is the colour of my true love's hair. His face is soft and wondrous fair, and I still dream that the time will come when he and I will be as one. When he and I will be as one. Black is the colour of my true love's hair. His face is soft and wondrous fair, and I still dream time will come when he and I will be as one. When he and I will be as one. Black is the color of my true love's hair. His face is soft and wondrous fair, and I still dream that the time will come when he and I will be as one. When he and I will be as one. So this is my last song. It's a bit of an older one. It's called Red Sun. I miss the red sun today. It shone from my homeland. Where I was grey. I miss the red sun in your sky. It shone from my loved ones as if they were calling me to the fireside. I pray for the cold, 'cause it won't wet my skin. I pray that the people here will let me in. And I gaze at the songbirds, hoping they'd help me fly. And I listen to the words, and I follow. Cross-legged lady on the rooftop, don't chase the planets, 'cause they'll never stop. Don't chase the bright lights, though they're quicker than sound. Just sit there and listen. Sit there and listen. Just sit there and listen. Sit there and listen. Just sit there and listen. Sit there and listen. Just sit there and listen. Sit there and listen. Just this place does inspire me, with its woman so strong, with its bricks built and stories, and its streets limestone. And I did miss a red sun, and I do miss my home, but I am here for the songbird, and I follow. Cross-legged lady on the rooftop, don't chase the planets, 'cause they'll never stop. Don't chase the bright lights, though they're quicker than sound. Just sit there and listen. Thank you. Cheers.
Anna, where can people find you online?
On all social media, and I've just had a website made by the incredible Sean Rogan. So yeah, everywhere. Everywhere.
Cool. Thanks, Anna.
Cheers. Thank you.
Hello and welcome back to episode 9 of the Kicking Back podcast. You have just heard some rather nice music from Anna McLuckie, our guest today. I hope that you all thoroughly enjoyed it. There's a selection of tracks off Anna's new album, Today, Every Day, which I encourage you all to go and check out because it's a very nice listening experience. Anna, did you enjoy performing in our tiny little studio?
I loved it. It was good fun. It's so funny how long it's been since I've performed live and how like nervous you can be about like playing in something so tiny in front of people I know really, really well. But no, it was lovely.
Do you play harp a lot at home, or is it kind of just something you just whap out when you're writing?
Whap out the harp.
Just crack it out, will you?
I did actually. Just got at Christmas. I got a little mini one.
Oh, nice.
Which is a lot more whappable.
Is that that's not like what did James call it?
A classic.
It is a classic.
Right.
Yeah. But it's a really, really wee one, like when you can sit on your knee. But I'm trying to play more. I'm doing quite a lot of harp teaching at the moment, and I don't know whether you guys get this when you teach, but like, there'll come a moment where I'll like try and explain something, and I'll be like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. I know that feeling. Yeah.
So then I'll have like a little debrief, like either before or afterwards.
Yeah.
So it's almost like learning whilst teaching. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to play more. Yeah.
So, what's it called? A classic.
Clarsach.
Right. What is the difference between that and what makes it a classic?
So a clarsach is a Scottish word for a lever harp. So those levers are what define it as a harp. And they change the key. So mine is set in A flat major. So to put it into a different key or to move between keys and put accidentals on, you have to put the levers up, and they can only go up. So the difference between a pedal harp and a lever harp is that you can only cycle through so many keys on a lever harp before you have to detune it.
Okay, right.
Because with a pedal harp, you can go sharp and flat, whereas you can only go up.
Right. Okay. But A flat's the lowest you're gonna get. Yeah.
Yeah. So as soon as I need a D flat, I can't do it.
You're screwed.
Yeah.
And when you say pedal harp, I really don't know anything about harps. What do you mean by a pedal harp? What does that do?
So they have a pedal for every note,
Right. Okay.
which is great, but they both have their issues. The issue with the pedal harp is that if you put down a G, you change every G. So if you wanted to play a G sharp and a G natural at the same time, you can't do it.
Right.
Which
okay.
is annoying.
Yeah.
So the pedal lever harp is flawed in that you would have to detune it for certain keys, and the pedal harp is flawed in that you can't do like really clashy. Some. I mean, yeah, it just takes a lot of like being quite deft at the pedals to be able to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. And then in terms of the intervals between the strings, what are the intervals?
It's chromatic.
It's just tones, and then you just change it semitones with the.
It's literally the inside of a piano.
Right. Okay.
But
cool.
without the black notes, unless you put the
Cool. And what about the technique for it? It looks so like complicated and scary to learn how to play. Is it like kind of rest strokes and free strokes and that kind of similar thing to guitar?
No, not at all. See, because I think like fretted instruments terrify me. Because I feel like it's a lot more mathematical, whereas you have like every note in front of you, a bit like a piano. So I feel like it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't use your pinkies.
Okay.
And you have to have these 3 fingers down and your thumbs up, and it's like just because your pinkies are quite weak.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Okay.
But I'm double jointed, so I can do that, which means I like can tuck my fingers in while I play.
Right.
Which
okay.
every harp person I've had is like looked at me and been like, "You're a freak. You shouldn't be able to do that."
Ouch.
Yeah. So, but it's not like strokes. It's more just that you have to pull it into the palm of your hand when you pluck.
Okay.
And use the fleshy part of your finger, not your nails.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I would have thought you'd have like got your nails out as well. It's so interesting all this stuff. It's just like when I was growing up, I didn't even think it was a real instrument when I was younger. I literally thought it was like something from cartoons. So when
From
I
Zelda.
like finally saw, yeah, and I was like, no way could an instrument sound like that. That sounds way too like pure. And then when I like first saw one in real person, I was like, what the? And just tiny mind was blown. Yeah,
It's cool. I
it was
mean,
really cool.
yeah, I'd like to play other instruments. There's a lot of sort of I completely forgot the name. What's the instrument that's got like a drum at the bottom and like a harp coming towards you?
Oh, I don't know.
Not
No idea.
Is it like an orchestral?
No, it's like an Indian instrument.
Oh, okay.
Completely. But I'd like to play more like harp strung instruments that aren't like I'd like to play a non-Western harp instrument,
Right.
like a lap harp, like a Chinese lap harp or something like that, and just have a go. It'd be fun.
Yeah.
Definitely. Do you play guitar or any other instruments apart from piano?
I play no, not at all. I had several moments during lockdown where I brought my family's mandolin home, and that was my like I'm going to learn the mandolin, and I did the sing with a tin whistle, and I can play like 2 songs on the guitar, but it just never gets any further than that really.
Yeah.
I think I get bored.
Yeah, but
But I would love to. I would absolutely love to. Yeah.
Tin whistle. What's that?
What's a tin whistle?
Sorry, I can't picture it in my mind. What a tin? As in, I'm imagining like one of those stupid like. It's not
No.
one of them, is it?
no, quite.
That is probably the folkiest thing I've ever seen. Like, what's a tin whistle? I feel like I'm really tearing you apart. Sorry. It's like a tin tube
Right.
with a
Whistle.
wind mouthpiece on the top. It's like a recorder,
Just
but
like a-
like a
okay.
folk
There you go.
recorder. Yeah, tin whistle.
Are they just in one key?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So you have to have several carrying around with you.
yeah.
Okay.
They're just used for like folk jams and things, and people do tend to like have a few, I think. But my housemate Andrea has sort of taken to playing everything on it
Awesome.
all the time.
Is that does it have a pleasant sound?
It is tinny, surprisingly.
Funnily enough.
It's quite piercing, but I don't know. It's nice.
What famous tunes out there have a tin whistle that like anyone would know, like household tunes? Can you think of any?
I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Right, okay, I could be wrong on this. Is there a tin whistle in the Braveheart theme somewhere? I feel like one of the soaring,
Could
beautiful
be.
melodies
It's probably in there.
might be
yeah.
one of them.
Yeah,
I
we watched
could-
that film the other day.
Oh,
the
did
music's
you?
so beautiful.
What do you think of that as a Scottish person?
We watched it like I've never watched it fully. I don't know.
Right.
I don't really. I
Have an opinion.
have an opinion on it.
What about you, James?
Yeah, what do you think, James?
Have you've seen Braveheart, haven't you? It's a classic.
I don't really have an opinion of
You
it
don't have an
either.
opinion?
No, it's
Right, okay.
I think if you're Scottish, you kind of just like, yeah, that's a Hollywood depiction of
Yeah.
Scotland, and it's
It's not realistic.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, it makes me want to be Scottish, but
Mm.
I'm just a British dude. What the fuck do I know?
Some of my family seem to swear by it. I think it's like a sort of New Year's
Yeah.
Day, like
Because you're
got a Braveheart kind of tradition.
You're half Scottish.
Yeah.
Your dad, when he first met me, tore me apart. He was like, he was like,
Why?
"You're not Scottish." It was really funny.
You like Iron Brew?
I love Iron Brew.
Okay. So
Yeah.
that's like a prerequisite, isn't it?
Yeah,
For
I
sure.
think
Right,
so.
okay. I'm going to ask this question. Why is Iron Brew a prerequisite for Scottish people?
Because James, help me out here. I feel like it is the perfect combination of like tangy sweetness, without it like coating your teeth too much.
Okay. Because it doesn't taste like anything else I've ever
No.
tasted.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
I like it. Don't get me wrong. I love it. I just wonder why it's Scottish people in particular that
Oh, right.
love it.
Okay.
That really love it. Is there a reason, or is it just a mere coincidence?
Well,
Something
I mean,
is-
it is Scottish.
Yeah, I
I
think.
don't, yeah.
You know.
Is that literally
The-
just it?
The Irn-Bru tend to market it towards Scottish people as well.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay.
You know, they don't really market towards the rest of the UK even.
No.
I think it's
Like, you-
pure.
In Scotland, you get
patriotism.
Irn-Bru Christmas adverts.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is Snowman.
Yeah. They're walking through the air, but with a can of Iron Brew, and then he drinks
Of
it.
course.
Right.
Obviously.
Pull that up right now. I want to see that.
But you never see it down in England or the rest of the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. This is right. I'm going to sound so British right now. So Scotland, do they have like their own like TV channels and
Yeah.
is it like its own little world?
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
BBC Scotland and everything like that, isn't it? So it's
I'm just
definitely
wondering where they've had these little adverts. You see,
Yeah, BBC Alba. That's
right.
like Celtic Scottish TV.
Okay.
Mhm.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Hmm.
My mum told me at Christmas that I didn't remember this. I used to do little impressions of them speaking Gaelic when I was a kid, which is pretty bad. But hey, yeah.
Oh, this is it. So the people watching at home, oh my god! So it's the Snowman, you know, the classic Christmas film, but the wee lad is he's trying to hide an Iron Brew drink whilst he's flying.
That's the Edinburgh fourth rail. Oh, it's Edinburgh. That's Edinburgh.
Ah, amazing,
Yeah.
nice, very nice.
The lyrics are always something about the snowman nicking the wee kid's Iron Brew. And it is really angry about it. And so I think every year they sort of add a little bit
One
to the
extra
story.
line, yeah.
Right,
And
okay.
yeah.
So you're like, you're trying to follow it every year. That's great.
And it always ends with he stole my Iron Brew and let go of my hand.
Seriously,
Yeah.
That's insane.
amazing, man. Absolutely amazing. But yeah, I mean, I'm not drunk. I don't drink it as much. James, you were well and truly hooked for. Wait, would you say you're still hooked on the old brew? James is nodding at me. Are you? Because James is on. What's the diet called?
Elimination diet.
Elimination.
Oh,
diet.
that
Yeah.
sounds intense.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds cooler than it is. It's not fun.
Do you want to
What
just
if you
give
eliminated?
a rough explanation of what it is?
Yes, and I know that my partner is not listening right now, so I can say whatever I like
Also,
about it.
Go to town, James. Go to town.
It's basically cutting out 6 food groups that are bad for you, which are alcohol, soy, gluten, sugar, and some other ones. What are they? Some fats. So I'm only allowed olive oil.
Oh.
But yeah, I've not had Iron Brew in 10 days.
And how's that sitting with you?
Well, the first 4 days were really bad.
Okay.
I don't know if it was just the sugar or what, but I couldn't concentrate on anything. I couldn't really think. And now I just feel normal.
Oh, that's nice. Right, okay. Before this period then, James, what's the longest you'd been without, consecutively drinking Iron Brew?
I think probably the longest time could be 2 to 3 days.
Ever.
That's
Ever?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I think that might be the thing, in that like they market it for Scottish people, and then you get hooked.
And then they've got you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
then
used
they've
to
got
fill
you.
my locker in school with Iron Brew cans.
Seriously?
Yeah.
But would they not?
I'd have one for break and then one for lunch. And then sometimes I'd take one out for the way home.
The Iron Brew
crazy.
chewy bars, the little sweet bars.
Oh, those are great.
Those are
They're
fantastic.
so good, aren't they? They're so wrong.
They're so
So right.
What are they?
So
Sorry,
wrong.
I've never seen these.
They're like Malwam kind of
Yeah.
size things, or like the
Right.
cola bottle kind of things, but yeah, so much dirtier in every way.
It's just like solid orange crap in a bar,
Yeah, literally.
and it's the same tangy sweetness and
Mm-hmm.
patriotism.
Man.
Am I right in thinking they tried to make it healthier at one point, and Scotland pretty much like rebelled? Like they tried to like new improved recipe, and they're like, come on, like guys, we all love iron brew in this country, but we should be more reasonable. And then Scotland as a nation. Am I right in thinking that? Was it quite like a recent thing?
I don't know if Scotland rebelled, but I know James rebelled.
Yeah, James put up a stink, I remember it.
James, he ordered like a whole bunch, and then you tell it.
Yeah, I ordered. They're changing the recipe to have half as much sugar in it. So I ordered, I think like a couple of months supply.
How many cans, just so people know?
It was about 72 cans, or whatever the multiple of 24 is. I think about 4 crates.
Yeah.
And I ordered it from Amazon, and it was like 2 days before the change, or the big changeover, and it was sold out everywhere. So
you weren't the only person.
I thought I was still going to get the old stuff, and they sent me 72 cans of the new stuff.
That's savage, man.
I bet you then got addicted super quick because you had to get through 72 cans and didn't.
Well, yeah, I drank it.
But you weren't happy about it.
Yeah, you're not going to let it go to
I was less
waste.
happy about it than usual.
Scotland has crazy junk food habits, don't they? Everyone knows about the deep fried Mars bars, but there's some really good like takeaway end of the night kind of things in there. And it was the one which is like it's like a box of everything. I can't remember what you guys call that though. It's I might. Maybe that's not like, it might just be Glasgow or something like that.
I think it's called a munchie box.
Yeah, that rings a bell. Yeah.
It's everything brown.
Everything. Look at that.
That's just British food in general,
Everything
though.
beige. That's so good. Yeah.
They just put everything in batter, like anything. And my favourite one is like an entire pizza battered. And I've got a picture of us after we did a diving station gig in Scotland, and George got a whole battered pizza, and it just looks like a crispy frisbee. It's so funny. It's big, massive, deep fried disc.
It sounds great, but also it sounds like a challenge.
Yeah,
when you get to the end.
I do think like if we did get independence and they stopped all our channels of import, like we would be fucked.
But you can still deep fry things. So
Yeah.
it's all good. Have we got a picture of that? Was it the munchie? What was it called?
Munchie box.
Whoa. So what we're seeing here is what we got. That's like onion rings, pizza, some sort of barbecue.
That
I think they're meant to be
ribs?
chips.
Kebab.
They're chips. So I like curly fries. What else we got? What's that white stuff at the bottom?
That actually looks like a healthy
Coleslaw?
version of a
Yeah.
munchie box,
Yeah.
if I'm honest.
That looks like...
It's got some salad or something.
Right. Okay.
That's not
Few
normal.
tomatoes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Very healthy.
We've got to like coat ourselves in grease to keep ourselves warm.
Of course.
That's the general rule, I think.
I like it.
Yeah. It's true.
Scotland is somewhere I really, really want to explore.
We have other good things, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we've just been listing off all the bad stuff. But like some of the, there's a guy I follow on Instagram called Jack Angsty, and he's a photographer. He just photographs loads of places in Scotland. Man, it's so beautiful. I can't believe it.
It's crazy, and I feel like it's set like a horrible expectation for me for any view, and that like anytime I go anywhere, I'll be like, it's not quite as good though, is it?
Yeah.
It's,
I know what you mean.
it's never quite as good.
And Edinburgh is such a beautiful city
It
as
is.
well. It's probably the most beautiful city I've been to in the UK. Like so far, it's just everywhere you go, like you just walking around it. It's like, oh my god, is it? It's
It does
fascinating.
spoil
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
I really want to go to the Isle of Skye. Have you been?
I haven't. I would love to. Yeah, all the
that's
sort of Western
incredible.
Isles. My auntie has recently moved to the Isle of Lewis and Harris, and I keep doing this thing where I'll like pick a month where it looks like I'll be able to go and visit, and then have to like scratch it off. But I'll like block out a month, and I'll be like, that's when I'm going, because it's so lovely up there.
Whereabouts is that
That's
place?
Western Isles, so like west at the top and
Right.
west, top and west. Yeah, so like across from like down and across from like John O'Groats, the like top point of Scotland, parallel to Inverness, like just before the like
Oh yeah.
Outer Hebrides.
Nice. Yeah, it's a beautiful. I just want to hire a sweet van and just do a little road trip around Scotland.
Me too.
Yeah.
I've been looking into buying a van.
Oh really?
Yeah, to do that the very same.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's got to be done.
Yeah.
It's got to be done.
I did have a chat with. I was like talking to someone the other day about like having like van chat, and they were like, "Oh, cool! Like, what van are you gonna get?" And I was like, "Citroen Berlingo," because the back seats slide out,
Right.
and you can make it into a camper van by just like putting something down in the back. But it
Can we
is
see a Citroen?
Yeah. I need to visualize.
I think I know which one you mean.
I'm
Yeah, I
loving
think I
this little
do.
slideshow
Yeah,
feature we've
great.
got going.
No, it's good. It's so we're all on the same page. But yeah, I definitely want to do that again after.
Yeah, when have
Good.
you done it before?
Well, we went. Me, Matt, and Freddie went to Canada.
Oh yeah.
2 years
Yeah,
ago.
a little bit more than that, I think.
Yeah, maybe a little bit longer than that, and that was awesome. It was just
In a van or
it was in an RV.
that's a real van.
Not a very big one, mind, but it was awesome. It's nice just living off the fat of the land. You know?
And what a land.
Yeah,
Yeah,
beautiful
exactly.
place. Although, because we went in the winter, so they'd taken all the water out of the van, so we couldn't have showers. And we didn't have any running tap water or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So for like a month, like we had to like apart from when we were staying in hostels, we basically had to like stop in like little cafes or like Tim Hortons or something. Just give it a little scoosh under there. And,
Did you find that after a few days your hair and body started cleaning themselves?
No.
No.
no, I'm pretty sure we stunk.
Yeah.
We definitely,
But we all did. You
we
know?
all,
So
yeah,
it was fine.
There's a collective stink.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
imagine.
I think hair did.
Yeah.
More so, but yeah.
It was so bad.
I quite like that, that stage though. After like 4 or 5 days, if you like are at a festival or something or in a van, where like your hair goes from like greasy to just like crisp, but like not a disgusting, not like a disgusting crisp, but the like. Just like, oh yeah, cool. It's just
Yeah.
gonna sit
Yeah,
there
it
It
and
kind of
do its
holds its
job.
own, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I know,
exactly.
I know what you mean.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, festivals. Let's see this. The
Little
so
dadmobile.
so this is the Citroen Berlingo, is it?
This is the new version.
This is the new one. Okay, that's nice. That's not the same that Will Hearn has, is it? Or he's got something.
He had a little. His was like a Japanese make.
Yeah,
I think
this one's lovely.
it is
Yeah,
lovely.
Very, very.
It
nice.
also came with some like
the little
installed Japanese music.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
hilarious. You showed me that a couple of months
It's
ago.
like super sultry, like really ASMR Japanese pop.
Really? Gee.
It's really good.
It's charming. It's
Yeah.
very charming.
I feel like if that was to come with its own pre-prescribed music, it would be Michael Bolton. Like there's nothing. It would be something dad rock.
I thought you were going to say something really something uncool.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was about to come down. You were. I was about to say you're not wearing your Michael Bolton shirt. You were wearing it
I
before.
was wearing it earlier. Yeah. I don't know.
You should
Yeah,
have-
sorry.
yeah.
Sorry. You are wearing your bowling shirt though.
I'm wearing my Bolton shirt, so it's all good.
I love the sort of camp 80s vibe
It's
that's
great,
going
isn't
on.
it?
It's,
Yeah.
it's good.
It's
yeah.
good. It's good stuff.
Good.
Have you like experimented with any? Obviously, the new hairstyle.
Yeah.
You didn't do anything like stupid, like we like bought some bowling shirts or anything. Have you been like? I grew out a goatee for a while, and I had some like mutton chops and all. Just
Just cause.
This
not done.
I've been wanting to do this for a very, very long time, but I did it in like stages where in sort of like, I don't know, October, I shaved the back, but kept the rest on because it was like down here. So I had like a little undercut. So then if I was like, oh, it looks shit, I could just take it down.
Mm-hmm.
And then December, I was like, let's go like classy short, cut it all off, went back to like 5 years ago. And then that grew out and I was like, it's time. There's
You're
there's
feeling
no
it.
other choice. Next one's a wet shave. And that's, then I'm done.
Done as in like never cutting your hair again. It was just like, yeah, that's good.
Gone through all the motions.
Yeah. I'd be
Paulina
interested.
says it's beautiful.
Who does?
Paulina.
Oh, thank you, Paulina.
Oh, it's nice. I'd be interested to see you bald, Matt. I don't know whether it would
No,
work or not.
it's not working. The only thing that that makes any of this acceptable is the fact that I've got this huge hair behind it. If you take that away, and I know it as well.
What do you think about the shape of your head? Do you think you've got a good shaped head?
No, I've got a terrible shaped head. I really is, but it's the Campbell thing. It's fine. I don't really mind. But no, I am really, really interested in trying it. I think everyone is as well.
Yeah.
I think I'd probably need some like facial hair or something just to try and balance it out.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, definitely. Do it. Why not? It's 2021.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. You feel like you have to have something on your face or head.
Just to kind of
compensate.
level things. I have a really, really big head, and it would I think people they'd be surprised at how much the head keeps on going.
Yeah.
If there's the hair behind it. Do you see what I mean? So you have to be careful, man.
Yeah.
So were the bowling shirts like?
Yeah.
How many?
Oh, so we've got
and why?
the. Why?
That's a better question.
No, not why, but like,
Why
I'm
have
so
you done
glad.
this?
I really like them.
I
cool.
don't know why, but we found that. Why did we do it? Why? Was there
I
a
don't
reason?
know. I thought someone had a reason.
Yeah, I think it was just one of those things that happened. But we looked, and then you could get whatever different colours. We've all got one a different colour. We'll try and pull up. George, could you pull up the picture?
Yeah, I can do.
If
But
you
I think I
find it.
remember why we got them.
Oh, go on.
So I remember, right? We were, for some reason, we got into the conversation of Charlie Sheen,
Yeah.
and we were talking about how good that guy looked in a bowling shirt, and
Yeah.
how it's like a look that no one ever uses anymore.
That's right. Yeah.
And then from there, we were like, well, why not buy 4 matching bowling shirts and wear them?
This sounds like the most testosterone fueled decision I've ever heard.
It was also great, wasn't it? Because we ordered them from like China or something.
Yeah, they were meant to come. We ordered them, and it's like, right, they're not going to come for like 3 months.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, we'll order it and we'll just forget, and it'll be a nice surprise one day. And then they turned up after like a week or something.
They look good for like a sort of like an Instagram buy or like one of those.
Yeah, they're good quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're to be honest, I'm thinking about buying some more because I just, there's something very relaxed. So there you go. This is the picture.
Oh,
So
Four
four losers.
I like that the light, like the lampshade, looks like it's sort of cocking its head at you. Like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Our scruffy
Yeah.
living room.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's. For the people at home. Yes, we bought 4 different colours. We got mustard yellow, like a dark sort of orange, would you say? And then like a dark blue and a nice sort of lighter green.
You can also tell that each of those shirts were just taken out of the package.
Yeah, we hadn't ironed them at the time.
Look
Yeah.
at those crinkles.
Yeah, but sweet sunglasses. And Matt's bought some bootcut jeans, didn't you, Matt?
Yeah. This was before this, though. This
Yeah.
is just a totally different thing. I think I saw them on a film, and I was like, no one wears bootcut jeans. So I'm really interested in this whole thing with fashion. Like, you see a trend getting set,
Mm.
and then you watch the tipping point when it becomes like a mainstream
And
thing.
yeah.
But I'm really interested in people that just go the absolute opposite way. To like, so almost like the most uncool thing you could think of, because usually that's gonna end up coming back.
Yeah.
So I find it really funny how it kind of comes in waves, and then you get people who like totally outpredict the wave, and then they end up setting the next one well ahead of time.
I feel like bootcut jeans on a man.
These things, they are powerful. They're really,
good.
really flared.
I could get behind that.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
because like you'd see it and you'd be like, it's not like edgy. It's not like forward thinking. It's just like, what on earth is that? Do you see what I mean?
Mm.
But someone's got to do it.
It's a bit like that like groovy chick trend that all the students wear.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
like-
yeah, definitely.
Slightly outgrown student wearing it. I think it's quite a good look.
Definitely. But I you get guys as well like David Bowie who just like were so single-minded that they just come across as so effortlessly cool, and just like you see some of the things that he was doing in like the era he was doing it in and how it still worked.
Mm.
And I just find that really interesting. I can't work out like whether it's because people know his personality or that he was so talented alongside it,
Yeah.
or it's just the fact that he was bold enough to go for it. You know, it's funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
For sure.
Who sets the trends?
Yeah.
Mm.
And bands like Big Thief are again like when you see the way they dress and stuff,
Yeah.
it's like they are just doing whatever the hell they want, but it seems so much cooler to me, that kind of like
Yeah.
bohemian
That's
look. I
great.
guess it's just my taste, isn't it? But
We saw them at Green Man, and Adrian came out with like a wig on and like half a face of makeup, and then just like whipped it off. And I think she maybe had a shaved head at the point of time, I can't remember, or some form of short hair, and she was great. She's just so androgynous, but and absolutely owns it. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, exactly. It's always an owning it thing, isn't it? Just being like, cool, this is who I am, and not feeling like you need to blend in any particular way. I think I think that's what people gravitate towards, and that's what people like really, really want to see, is someone just owning whatever they are. And it's just so, like, trends are so funny, man, because it could be the least cool thing imaginable, and but before you know it, like, comes back around. It's like, oh, like, you know.
And when does it meet that point where it's, because we do just cycle through eras, don't we?
Yeah.
Like bootlegs, what, 70s maybe?
Yeah.
So I guess we've come to that point again. It's like, well, do you think they'll start like projecting virtual outfits onto people? Do you think that'll be the next like filter thing?
Whoa.
And that you like pop up?
Like on, like, maybe.
Like
on your phone.
Like pop up on Zoom and you're like, oh, this top shit, and just change it.
I think, yeah, definitely. Well, they're talking about, I can't remember who told me, so I'm probably going to get this wrong, but it's fine. So, in order to make bandwidth quicker, you know how we have, like Apple have this sort of, what they call, like the fake versions of yourself. You know, the little like fake, what they called?
An avatar.
Yeah, avatars. So they're basically talking about they're going to be able to, with, is it AR or VR? You're going to be able to like basically digitally recreate yourself, because that's quicker. That uses less bandwidth than like projecting an actual video image. So they're talking about in the future when people are doing video calls, you're not actually going to see you. You're just going to see like this digital
avatar
looks like you, but it's not actually you thing, which is kind of weird.
It's weird, but it's also really cool, I think.
Yeah.
I watched a really good interview. Do you know Sophie, the electronic musician, Scottish electronic musician, I think, who she just passed away about a couple of weeks ago?
No, I don't know who she is. No.
Listen, that would be one of my. Since she died, I've done that like classic, like didn't know much of it before, and then I've listened to a lot of it. It's so good. Like really off the wall electronic music, and she makes all her own samples and sounds and things. It's like very like bubblegum pop stuff. Okay. But I watched an interview with her and an AI robot called Sophia, and she like pops up and she goes, "Hi, Sophia, I'm Sophie and I'm a pop star." And then she goes, "Hi, I'm Sophia and I'm a robot." And then they have this really surreal conversation. Watch it. It's great. Okay. It's
what
really
is it, like a little documentary, or is it like a little...
Just an interview with her and an AI. But it's interesting because the way that she makes music is so like electronic and based in those sort of sound worlds, and they like find the sort of connections between what they both do, and then the things that are different, and it's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
That sounds crazy. And how do you spell this Sophie? How is it spelled in a particular way? Or is it just
Sophie?
So if I just put Sophie into Google, will it come up?
Yeah, should do.
Just Sophie electronic music. Cool.
Sophie electronic music.
I'll check that out.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It's good. It's very good.
Nice.
I was wanting to ask, like, just about your like career so far. Have there been any like particularly kind of proud gigging moments, or like songs that you've written or anything that just hold the most meaning to you? And if so, why? I know it's such a hard question, so I'm sorry.
We only because it is. We were talking about it recently. I went on a really nice walk with Matt and George the other day, and we were talking about when we played in Russia 2 years ago, and we played two quite contrasting gigs. We played one in Moscow and one in St. Petersburg, and the one in Moscow was in this like slightly funny like rock venue, a bit like do you remember, it's a bit like Mint Lounge or Ruby Lounge in Manchester,
right?
But for like this sort of like folky stuff, and there was like maybe like 30 or 40 Russians like round the edge of a room. It was so surreal. And then in contrast, when we played in St. Petersburg, it was in this like quite bougie bar lounge. And at the end of the second gig of that one in St. Petersburg, after that like sort of slightly odd, we're slightly rusty or all jet lagged one in Moscow, there was they just, we like finished the song, it was a really quiet song, and they clapped for like a solid 2 minutes, like non-stop, but like no whooping or expression, just like really sober clapping, like
Is it really slow?
really slow.
Sarcastic.
And it was so, and none of us knew what to do. We're like, do we get off the stage? Should we just stay there? So we just sat there, and it was the weirdest gig experience ever. It was so it was like really, really touching, but also
Yeah.
so weird.
Yeah, that sounds so surreal.
So intense. It was
That's
lovely.
crazy. So, okay, here's a question for you. What's the best artist that you've seen live, or an experience that you were like, that was pretty fucking awesome?
I saw a lot of good stuff when I was in New York. I think I told you about some of them when I was on with Diving Station. But I think I told you about that time I saw Erykah Badu. That was right up there.
Mm-hmm.
One of the other ones I saw there was, there's a little jazz club called 42. Not 42, is that someone in Manchester?
That is not a jazz club.
It's a different kind of jazz.
It's called like, oh no, 40 something.
Right.
And I saw like a session band with like a load of the players that we'd all like talked about over the time in college playing. So it was the Trucks band and Jason Linder on keys,
Right.
and I've forgotten all their names.
Like Timothy, is it
Yeah,
all that
Timothy.
crowd?
Yeah. And I like went by myself because I really wanted to go and I didn't know anyone. So I like snuck in because I didn't have an ID, and I went by myself and like just sat in the corner and was so overwhelmed by like how amazing it was. And that was probably a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Just felt very cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
was like,
A vibe.
this is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. And what I know you so you played at Green Man. What's that
Yeah.
like as a festival? Because I know quite a lot of people that have been, and they say it's a great experience.
It is. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's very like, it knows its market. It's a lot of
Right.
like white, middle class, hippy dippy families,
Yeah.
but it's done really, really well, and they get really, really good artists and art installations and workshops and things. And it's in the valleys of the Brecon Beacons, so it's lovely surroundings. Yeah, you should go. You'd like it. I think it's got like all the like Big Thief. That's right. Lots of indie stuff, and they are starting to like bring through a bit more like jazz and hip hop and things as well,
Right.
which is cool.
Yeah, I miss festivals.
Me too.
I miss them so much. I just want to get just dirty and sweaty and just hug people and all this stuff. But you know, it'll happen soon, I think.
Yeah, it's real.
It is real. It is real.
We've got 2 booked in for this summer, and I just can't let myself get excited about them
Yeah.
because I just don't know.
Where
Just
are
don't
you
know.
meant to be playing them?
They're both with a company called Wild Rumpus, which put on little sort of woodlandy festivals. One of
Okay.
them's called Timberfest, and the other is called Just So Festival. Yeah, they're both around the north area. I need to double check exactly where. As I say, I haven't let myself get excited about them. But I know the MIF are planning on going ahead, which is cool.
Oh right, okay.
And that's in the start of June. So
Right.
that gives me some hope.
We'll just have to see what happens, won't we?
Yeah.
But it's all good. It's all good. I think the live streaming element of gigging, even though it is kind of strange, I think it's got its own thing going on. Do you know what I mean? The fact that you can just sit at home and enjoy live music, but it is a completely different beast and stuff.
Definitely.
But you got to take it as a positives, because if we hadn't had all this, then we definitely wouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely wouldn't be doing it.
And this is something you guys have wanted to do for ages as well, isn't it? So I guess it's
Yeah.
like...
And it'll carry on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
normal as well, so.
No,
Yeah.
I think there's positives. And I got my jab this morning, my AstraZeneca.
Woohoo!
So we're all on the way.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Bill Gates is tracking you. As we speak,
I
so.
hope so.
nanobots.
Yeah.
Because we're all so interesting, aren't we?
I know. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I think we should wrap it up there, It's been very nice having you here, Anna.
You too.
Yeah.
Lovely
It's been so
conversation.
nice.
It's been nice to see you.
You
It's been a
too.
while. For the people at home, I hope that you have enjoyed this episode with Anna McLuckie. If you want to find her stuff online, search for Anna McLuckie on all good social media. That's correct. Also, check out her Dream Pop outfit diving station, also on social media. Whilst you're there online, you should probably, follow the RecRooms stuff so that you get updated when we're doing new episodes. Podcast episodes every week. We've got some new series coming soon, which I'm excited to talk about, but we're not going to talk about it yet. What else was I going to say? Oh, yeah, if you enjoyed the episode, we're running this on a donation basis. So if you feel like you want to contribute something to help us put it on, be much appreciated. James will probably put something in the chat. Subscribe to us on YouTube as well, because that's where we're doing everything now. We're doing the live streams on there. All the Anna's full performance will be on there as well. Anna, have you got anything that you would like to say to our lovely audience before we sign off?
Thank you. Yeah, just thanks for tuning in. And you can find the album on Bandcamp and Spotify.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Right, Anna, last question. If you could sum this podcast up in 3 words, what would it be?
Lovely, wholesome catch up. To catch up being one word.
Yeah, hyphen, catch up. Yeah, nice. Like it. Matthew?
I was going to say that was lovely. So kind of stole yours, but sorry.
No, it's good. It's good.
It's hard to fit into 3 words. Go on.
Nice Limerick, Brad.
I know. Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm going to say Anna is delightful.
Oh,
There you go.
There we go.
that's nice.
So yeah, thank you all very much for joining us. If you're listening on our Spotify or whatever podcast app, I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope you have a lovely day. People that are watching on YouTube, same to you as well. We will be back next week with Will Hearn, who's a composer, and he's got some lovely music to share with us. So yeah, tune in for that, and we will see you all soon. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast to catch up on new episodes every week. Also, check us out on our Facebook and Instagram at RecRooms, where you can find out about our other exciting music series. We also have this and all our other episodes of the podcast up on our RecRooms YouTube channel for your viewing pleasure. See you next time.